It's that time of every other week again. Hello, everybody. My name's Madman. I'm a competitive Splatoon coach and analyst, and today I'm going to be talking about InkVac, and specifically V96, because this thing is relevant now. Yeah. So, when it comes down to it, like, in the recent months, we've been seeing a lot of FAQ stuff. I know Char just made a video about FAQ. Well, he made it a while ago, but like he posted it recently. And I have my own thoughts about FAQ. It's not like necessarily like too different from the JPs, but like I feel like I have stronger feelings about it than other people. So, in fact, a while ago, got a little buff to its HP, and this made this thing go from annoying with its counterplay of having to fill it, just like inconvenient, to being even more inconvenient to the point where it's actually relevant, like, meta-wise. It feels like this game's special power has been going up a lot recently, for the most part. Like, if we're gonna look at the specials, um, Zuko on launch was nowhere near it is now because it didn't two-shot with its outside hit. Bubble's gotten some HP buffs, and I think some minor, not compared to the amount of buffs it's got though. They've got its one shot with its arm. Missiles, yeah, they kind of killed missiles, but like, it's still good. It's mainly just can't spam it as much. Storm got his big radius buff. I think Storm's good now. It's just, these are not good weapons. Except for Mott. Mott's good. Then we got Bomb. It's gotten a lot of buffs over the whole game. Specifically, the thing of note I'd say is probably at least recently, it's object damage in the crowd. And oh yeah, the radius buff. I almost forgot about that. Wavebreaker is sad. We don't talk about it. Vac got the HP buff and some really big AoE buffs over time. Honestly, Whale's also sad. Jed's had some, like, a lot of buffs towards, I think it's AoE for the most part. It got some minor tone backs, but it's in general better. Hammer got its massive AoE and some other changes over the game. Crab was kind of busted from the start. It just kind of fell off. Slider's gotten so many damn buffs to the point where it's like you can't parry it anymore. Now it has a trail. It also has invincibility on its end leg, just to name a few things. It's also got bigger radius. Strike kills a lot faster and affects more radius. Cooler got a bunch of stuff changed. And most of it's just coming from the cooler grab radius. Chump hasn't gotten changed too much as this kind of race. Well, not necessarily recent, but yeah, it's got some more pain and damage numbers, so. Kraken got its cheese removed, but it's still like good, I think, and it's got some other buffs, I'm pretty sure, but I don't think this thing's only got enough from what I remember. Splashdown has had AoE changes and faster, whatever it is, and screen. It went from dirty damage to 40 damage, which honestly isn't that much. But the point is, that if every special is stronger by at least a little bit, then having a special that beats those specials is going to be a bit more relevant. And there are some things like Hammer that can like deal with that very well, but in general, just being able to take whatever's thrown at it and then throw it back just like halts momentum a lot. Like a concept I want to bring up real quick is when typically a team tries to retake space in the game, the team that is trying to hold that space pops their specials at the same time the team retaking wants to move forward. So it's kind of an attempt to make the enemy team not have an advantage to actually move forward with and just keep them in that locked out state. And a special that is like really good at this, obviously is Infect, but like there's also like Zip. Zip's really good at this. I'm not gonna play Zip too much, but like it stalls really well in a similar way to Infect. Well, not in a similar way. It's a similar idea, it's a different way. But when it comes down to back, I think it works a little bit better as well. Because you pretty much get your own Booyah Bomb at the end of it if you're aiming enough. And also, oh yeah, Zip has a recoil, and if you actually lose any space, it can be punished. So it doesn't matter there. But with Back, you can kind of just move around the game, and it makes you pick off, especially with move off, where it makes you sweep. So, in general, this makes it really strong for Evac just to be able to hold space in the game. And while like that concept primarily is a zone thing, because in other modes you want to be able to move forward like farther at almost all times. Like there's not typically a stopping point in your progression like there is in zones. But it doesn't make Fact necessarily useless, especially because in those modes, Fact actually has a point kind of thing in the first place, which is the fact that every other mode has an objective that is player controlled. So on Tower, you have someone who has to ride the tower. On Rainmaker, you have to have someone hold the Rainmaker. On Clams, you have to have people hold the Clams. And Vac is very good at protecting those people. So this allows you to actually be able to score points pretty easily in those modes. And this is most prominent in Rainmaker, that's what Charlie made his whole video about. But it is definitely relevant in the other modes. Like, I saw a bot recently, the Clams like challenge, which had like Lumeria Flounder. And I saw a decent amount of that. And the fact was pretty much just like able to allow their team to just score for a while and not really get punished too hard. And even outside of just using it as cheese or stall, it actually can be good at moving up. Honestly. Well, not like necessarily without anyone else, but like what I mean by not high on its own is that it's able to kind of create this pressure that you don't need another advantage to capitalize. Like, it doesn't matter if you pop Booyah Bomb if you're like 2 players down. But like, with Infect, you're gonna be able to keep up pressure if they don't have certain options to deal with Fact. Like, Kraken, Hammer, Sword Roller, something like that. And you can also use back as a way of baiting those options, which can be very useful sometimes. Like, you can pop a back out in a decent situation, look for a path choosing to run you down, and then just like avoid it and have get punished by either you or so like back has a lot of use cases, and it feels like, well, it's like everything's been getting a lot stronger, like in general. That's kind of how the game works. This thing, I believe, is what benefits most from that. Because it works very well as a punish and cheese tool. Like, if we look on tower, like, you don't necessarily think of like someone sitting behind tower and then just like bashing it, like, look down, Mr. President. Like, typically what we see is like, if someone's getting pushed while they are the tower rider, they then use the back to kind of protect themselves while a teammate comes, and then do something about that. Because like, it can be very hard to punish with that. And, like, I feel like people don't really give this thing the credit it deserves. Probably because of the weapons it's on. The only weapons I see potential with this thing are Rapid, 96, and Type. I don't think Splat Charger is worth it. I've seen some very niche times in JP. People use this, but that's specifically in Rainmaker when you want to retry for Mist, and you want to jet as well. Sharking is also good in Rain. EP, I see potential in it, but I don't think it's worth picking over Rapid. I don't, like, it doesn't really provide anything else over Rapid besides maybe paint, but, like, if you're going for back output, that Rapid's 180 while BP is 200. And Swig, like, this thing, I think this is close to it. It's just that it doesn't fully have a number of uses. I don't think it's not for lack of potential, but rather for just, why would I pick this support over like a few 96? Like, sure, this can get a few more facts, but this is just better in almost every other category. Maybe not pain, but like, it's not bad pain. But yeah, in Jet Squelcher, I feel like it's kind of just a mix of the whole point and Big Switch situation of like, it's competing with Rapid Pro, but it's also competing with 96 at the same time, and it can't necessarily do either job like perfectly. Oh yeah, and if you want me to elaborate a little bit more on Flat Charger, quite frankly, this thing doesn't provide enough pressure, I think, on certain angles. It doesn't have enough self-defense. It's, and, or for, like, let me rephrase that. I have to do these videos in one take, so yeah. Pretty much. Rapid is able to put more aggressive pressure out on the map than Splat Charger is, because Splat Charger doesn't have the ability to defend itself properly, and Rapid also can hit around angles while peeking that. And Splat Charger just feels like its pacing is too slow. Also, his facts would be very far back, so it has to run up to follow fact. And rapid's closer to being where fact wants to be popped. Like, ultimately, I just want to say that I think that most people don't have enough understanding of this special in the West right now, and it's not so much potential here. In JP, I do like how it's being used, and I do see it becoming more common over time. So, I think that's about it. I could, yeah. So yeah, hope to see you next time. Bye bye.